Melissa Mitchell is a self-taught artist, entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker. She was born and raised in Miami, Florida, and has I don't know if you can tell already, but she loves vibrant colors, unique shapes, and bold, dark lines that she attributes to her Bahamian heritage. In 2014, she founded ABO Creations and began her journey in the world of abstract art. Since then, Melissa has gone on to create over 500 original art pieces, 40 larger-than-life murals, and been featured in Forbes, Vogue, Essence, Sheen Magazine, Rolling Magazine, and the Huffington Post. The girl is doing her thing, and she is a woman of God, and she has manifested these things for her life. And that is what this interview is all about. So many amazing things have happened for you, and it's really been beautiful and an honor to watch. Can you talk about them? Like, how are you feeling?
I am encouraged, because when I look at who I was 11 years ago, prior to ever picking up a brush, prior to even getting out of school, I saw this vision of who I wanted to be, and it seems so far away, right? And so every day that I walk into my house, every day that I look at some of the things that I've done, I'm encouraged. I think about the most recent thing I was able to do. I was the first person to rap a Ford Mustang 2019 at Black Women in Hollywood.
Hello, Black women.
In the heart of one of the wealthiest zip codes in America, with some of the most talented women in the world. And there I am, front and center, in all my colorful painted glory. And just fresh out of dealing with personal stuff. And God was just saying, your purpose will keep you. And so I'm encouraged to know that what I've manifested is not only for me, but for so many other creatives.
Okay, so you're talking about manifesting.
Yes.
What does that look like for you? I know, does that play a large role in your life?
I think manifesting, and now it's a cliche thing, because manifest this, manifest that. And I said, well, manifesting to me is just heightened faith.
Heightened faith.
Heightened faith.
Yes.
It's just picking out something and never looking at anything else. And so I know that I want to manifest this. I have on my faith blockers.
Okay.
So although this happened yesterday, I'm still focusing on what I want to manifest. And a lot of people get so easily discouraged. Because had I picked up this dream, when I wanted to pick it up, I wouldn't have stayed focused on this.
Okay.
So I think that manifesting for me, I hold it so dear, is because the things that I've set forth years and years and years ago actually have come to pass. So manifest is kind of like that rolling snowball. It starts really, really small. You may manifest a parking space at Marshall's. Yes. You may manifest a sale at Target, and then it turns into manifesting a whole car from Ford. So it's really a lifestyle for me. It's not just saying I want $1 million. I said, Lord, I want to make an impact. And so my manifesting is manifesting life goals and life attributes. And so it turns out to be really, really great things. And so manifesting holds a special place for me.
What does it look like for you? What is that? What is the action behind your manifesting?
Action is writing down my goals every single day, at least 22 times. And so, I know.
We are very intentional here.
Very intentional. Everybody knows my favorite number is 11. Born May 11th. I was always number 11 on the roster in school. We were very small classes, so I was number 1 twice. So I put 2 ones together. It's the 11. And so I write down my goals. Robert Zink is one of my favorite teachers. Of course, with another group called You Are Creators. With Justin Perry. So those are my two, my go-to gurus when it comes to manifesting. But they both talk about intentionally looking at your goals every single day. Because I can have a horrible day at work, and then I can forget that I'm still trying to be in the running to win a Spanx bra. And so, or I can still not remember that I'm trying to manifest the whole Ford truck. Yeah. And so I think with manifesting, you have to be intentional about the people you have around you, the things you eat, the places you go, the car you drive, the stores you frequent. I know yesterday I was headed to an event, and I went a different route. And when I went down the street at the time that I was supposed to go, there was a shootout on the street with the police off Moreland Avenue. And so I called my mom. She said, well, that was God protecting you.
Right.
But you don't realize that your intentionality really, really protects you. So that's your protection is your intention. Wow. And so that's why I'm so keen on, I'm just not going to go to the event. If I have any gut feeling that I don't need to go, I just won't go. It may not have to be anything bad. It might just be an energy, may throw off my energy for the time. And so I'm very, very intentional about every little thing that I do. Everything. The soap I use, the oil, everything. And so you have to be mindful of that. So when I'm asking God to manifest in me, I'm already ready for it. So if I want to live a certain lifestyle, I'm already in the mode of being ready for that.
That is so. I mean, that's
Yeah.
so good, and that, it's the same for your home, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, what type of scents are you using? You
Oh,
got
goodness.
flowers every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Like,
And so, flowers for me, when you get sick or something happens, people bring you flowers. I said, I have to get sick to get flowers?
Right.
And so that happened maybe a year or two ago. And so ever since I had the flowers in my home, it just reminded me of life and growth.
Right.
And even things that are not alive, because the flowers are technically dead, right? You can water them and keep them alive a little bit longer. So it's just a reminder that life is always happening, even in dead places. For me, when it came to choosing even the scents for my home, I wanted to feel warm. I wanted to feel like opulence. I wanted to feel like wealth. So every time I used to go to really, really nice hotels and like Dubai, and when I went to nice places, they had just such rich scents. So I found out what they were. Most of them are burning something that's in the family of Egyptian musk. You have cedarwood, you have nag champa. You have all these really, really warm scents. And so I curate my own oils when I go to the oil place. So I mix about 5 different things and make my own oil. So when you come, it's like, what's that smell? So it could be a combination of anything. And so that is what I do even for my house. So it makes me remember. I like to lock memory in scents. And so I can always remember home when I was like, that smells like my house. So yeah, that's what's so important to me.
It seems like you operate based on how you want to feel.
Yeah.
Every day. It's
Absolutely.
like, do you wake up and you decide, like, when you wake up, what happens when you wake up?
So when I wake up normally, I'm probably throwing my alarm clock across the room because I'm not ready to get up. But in addition to prayer, I find either an affirmation to put on while I'm getting dressed, or I put on a sermon, or I put in something motivational. Because words, you have to, your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day.
Yes.
And so even if I don't know what the rest of my day is going to look like, I know that I controlled my morning. And so it's very important that you set the tone when you come from drive. I always say that my car is my classroom.
Okay.
I haven't listened to the radio in about 5 years. So I always have, even if I've listened to a podcast before, I put it on again because you can always learn something new from something you already learned from. And so I'm constantly feeding my brain, even when I'm not listening, I'm listening.
Okay.
The subconscious mind is something you have to feed all the time. So even when I'm home and doing something different, I have something playing almost on volume 1 to still feed my subconscious mind all throughout the day.
So do you ever feel unaligned? And when you do, how do you get back into alignment?
Of course. It's so easy. People think that manifesting is this beautiful, colorful thing and that I'm always rainbows and yellow flowers.
And Jesus and God. Right. Yeah.
And so the thing about manifesting is very isolating because you have to get away from all the noise to figure out if what you're hearing is from God or is it from you. Yeah. And so that's the first step for me. I've had to really, really pull away from things that are familiar, people, places, things, food. God has taken a lot of things that I wanted and given me what I needed. And so once that kind of happened, I realized that manifesting isn't this beautiful thing. It's actually kind of painful because for me, manifesting was a spiritual journey.
Okay.
I couldn't keep asking for things and not expect to change. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I want a husband, I want a new house, I want to do this, but you didn't know that you have to learn how to share. You have to learn how to change your eating and your spending habits. When you get a house, I have a shoe addiction, but I'm down to maybe, I do shop a little much. But you have to change your habits. And so with manifesting, you have all these great things you want to happen, but I knew that I had to be willing to give up X, Y, Z in order to make that happen. So it was a lot of self introspection. And so for me, when I get unaligned, I have a room called the Remembrance Room, where I walk into and just say, wow, if God did this for me before, He can do this again. And I keep a gratitude book in my purse, and I write down random stuff. Oh, I found a parking space today. It was packed at Target. Or, of course, we took the big stuff, but it's the little stuff that has to remind you. Yeah. Like you go to the store, you got the last almond milk. Yeah. I think people forget all the little things that God does for you every single day. Right. God will send you the right camera crew.
Right.
God will give you batteries in a bag
like
you thought was empty.
It's
little
GPS.
things.
You'll go
it's little
this way.
things. So when I get unaligned, I know that I'm somewhere I have a little bit of ungratefulness. And I have to kind of do a lot of self-checking. And so that's why it's important you keep that gratefulness box. You have that journal. You have people in your life. So, I know you're not acting depressed after you left that job that God wanted you to leave. You didn't know how you were going to get out of it. And so it's those things and those people. We talked about God giving us aligned friendships and being okay with fostering new relationships. Even if it's strictly professional, even if it's strictly for manifesting, just like having a workout buddy, you can have a manifesting buddy. So we're like, Diamond, what we going to do by May? Right. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So June comes, I'm like, what you did last month? We're like, girl, I ain't doing none of the stuff I talked about. So you need somebody that's going to be on your journey, that's going to tell you, you should be doing this is what you should do, and all those different things. So unalignment to me is just a way for me to get back closer to God.
So it seems like you know so much and you feel so much. Was this a process for you?
Definitely a process. I think for me, it's important to know that your journey is being written every day. And a lot of people get stuck on the roadblocks. And it's like, while I have time to be stuck here, I could be doing something else. I have a quote in my room that talks about it takes just as much energy to worry
Yes.
that it does to plan.
Yes.
And so while I'm sitting here wishing and dreaming and worrying, I could be actually coming up with a plan. Well, one day when I get older, why not write it down?
Yeah.
Why not do it?
Why not
You know
do
what I mean?
it?
Right
Yes.
now.
Why not do it?
Why not do it?
Yeah.
And so I'm in the why not do it stage in my life right now. That's why I'm so sure, because I've been through so much, and I'm like, why not now?
Yeah.
Around it in all that I do.
Were you always did you always feel like you were on a fast track to
No.
manifesting? Okay.
No.
When did that happen? Because I know that's very important to you.